I think the nuances are extremely important here.
Exactly. So as a part of the judiciary, once a case is filed, we are not sent to
Some voices don't just speak, they spark change. Some journeys don't just inspire, they redefine what is possible. Ambition to identity, from challenges to choices, from quiet struggles to powerful breakthroughs, bring you conversations that matter. Welcome to Vision-Naari, because every woman has a vision, because every vision deserves a voice.
Today's guest is someone who truly lives at the intersection of multiple worlds. A practicing advocate, a wedding MC who brings life to moments, a published author, a poet, a storyteller, an educator, and a trained Carnatic vocalist. She is someone who proves that you don't have to fit into a box to be successful. Let's welcome Pooja Umashankar.
Thank you, Harini. That's so sweet of you. Lovely introduction.
You wear so many hats so effortlessly, Pooja. What does a typical day in your life look like?
Well, my day starts very early. I think that's one habit which I've inculcated in my early stages of life. I wake up around 5:30. So half of the tough part is done there. I get a lot of time in the morning, so freshen up, music practice. Then I do take early morning classes of English, socials and Kannada. I'm a part of a teaching community called Teachers by Choice. And then my court work, office work. After I come home, if I have time, I do practice my music. And my writing doesn't have a typical time. Whenever an idea comes to my mind, I just scribble it on paper. Then I finalize it or furnish it and write it on the paper. So it's like that.
Wow, what a roller coaster. Lots of things. So from courtrooms to stages, if you had to describe your journey in one sentence, what would that be?
Well, I would not phrase it as courtrooms to stages. It's been courtrooms and stages along. Both have been together always for me. It's just that I am exercising my strength in two different domains. I'm very lucky to do so. I don't feel there's much difference between both because I love talking and both involves talking.
It's a powerful way to put that. So law is often seen as a structured and intense profession. What drew you towards becoming an advocate?
Honestly, I didn't join law because I loved law. I wanted to do something where I'm always with people, where I'm vocal. And when I was shortlisting some things, which professions which I can choose, law was top the list. So it's like, okay, let me give it a try. It was very difficult in the initial years, first year especially, because I had no lawyer in my circle, in my family. Then slowly I started picking up things and I gradually fell in love. And I'm practicing law because I love it. So,
wow, I think that choice tells a lot about Pooja as a person itself. So communication plays a huge role both in law and performance. How has being an advocate influenced the way you express yourself on stage?
It's vice versa. Me being comfortable on stage has helped me being a good advocate. Wow. Stage was my first love. I think my first performance was when I was 2 or 3 years old on stage. I have never faced stage fear. I don't know why. I love stage. I don't care what the audience are thinking. Mic and stage, I am the best version of myself. I am happy. So that connecting with the audiences, performing, body language, eye contact, all the stage has taught me. So this helped me a lot in advocacy. The only thing I had to learn was law. Presenting it and convincing the judges or the clients was always easy for me because I've always been performing on stages. So it is due to stage, I'm a better lawyer.
A very interesting intersection. So courtrooms always demand logic, whereas art demands emotion. How do you balance both logic and emotion in life?
It is difficult. I'm still mastering it. I will not tell I have learned the art of balancing both logic and emotion. But, as you step into the room, you read the room. Once you're in the court, I start thinking logically. Emotions take a back seat. And once you're on the stage, the room is filled with emotions there. So the emotional part takes the front seat and logic steps back. So it's like that.
I know the balance is not easy, but a great job. As an advocate, you see realities most people don't get to see.
Yes.
What are some patterns that you notice in everyday cases which are related to women and families?
Women have been recently they have started stepping out of their restrictions or the box. They have started being vocal about their problems. They want to solve them. If the problem is not solvable, they want to end them. So now women coming to court seeking divorce or seeking relief against harassment, be it cybercrime or be it physical abuse, is not seen as a very unusual thing. It was seen as a very uncommon thing where only one woman used to be in the entire court hall. Now court hall is filled with women clients, women judges, women advocates. So all three, advocates, judges and clients together, are increasing in numbers. So it's law has become more accommodating for women than the past.
So marriage today is evolving rapidly, right? Do you think people today are more willing to walk away from marriages, and is that a positive shift or a concern?
Walking away from bad marriages is definitely a positive sign. Walking away from marriages is a matter of concern. So I would always say that you have the option of divorce. Do not make it your first option unless it is abuse, whether verbally or emotionally, or infidelity, which cannot be tolerated nor forgiven. But there are some issues which can be sorted with basic communication, a little efforts from both the sides. So that's just because the divorce has become more general now. It's not treated as a stigma. People are very easily taking that solution.
I think it's very layered in a very sensitive space, right?
Exactly. People, making divorce as a very quick, hasty decision, whereas divorce is something which you have to think a lot, put a lot of efforts, talk to people, and if there's no solution, then you have to come for divorce. But people are making it the first solution. That's wrong. But again, judiciary is not in haste to give grand divorces. Once a couple applies for divorce, the judges advise them to go to mediation, conciliation, gives them the time period to solve the differences. And there have been many marriages which have come back from the stage of divorce thanks to the judicial system. But again, people also need to be more careful or little efforts in saving their marriages.
Divorce still carries a little stigma, right? Do you think society is truly becoming more accepting of divorce for women, or they've just become a little more vocal than what they were before?
The society has come a way more forward. I wouldn't tell that still a lot has to be done. But in tier 1 cities, we can see that it is very much normalized. So maybe you can see divorce as a very normal thing. But we should understand that majority states in India or cities are still tier 2 and tier 3. So there, divorce is still a stigma.
So you think the judgments are quieter, or
most of the divorce cases which come are from tier 1 cities. You very rarely see people from villages coming for divorce, which is both a positive thing and a negative thing, because people sort out their differences or people stay silent in bad marriages.
True, that's very true. So financial independence has changed a lot of dynamics in the society if you see today. How has financial independence influenced women's legal decisions in marriages and any disputes?
It's not only in legal. Once any person starts earning, be it a man or a woman, you can sense a change in yourself. The day you receive your first salary, you are a changed person. You can buy a chocolate for yourself. You can buy a dress for yourself. So, women being financially independent is very important because they know that they can take care of themselves. And they need not come into any pressure or tolerate any such torture, abuse, just because they do not have anywhere to go or they need someone else to take care. So definitely women being financially independent has empowered them to take decisions for themselves. So that's why many women are coming out of bad marriages, are making the tough decision, because they know even without that man in their life, they can survive, they can provide for their family and children. So definitely financial independence has helped. And one more point I would like to add is financial independence is not a choice. It has to be something mandatory for both a man and a woman. Once your parents have given you good education, it's your duty to support yourself and your family. It cannot be your choice. So you have to be financially independent.
I think that's something everyone has to have. So there's always a debate of misuse and protection of versus protection of law. How do you see the balance between protecting women and the concerns of misusing laws?
Just because a law can be misused, you cannot tell that law is wrong. Law was implemented for a reason. And misuse of any law can happen, not only women law. Today I can just accuse you of theft. I can randomly accuse you. Everyone should know that any day, any moment, anyone can file a case on us. The society has to understand the difference between accused and convict. Just because a case is filed on someone, be it of dowry, be it of harassment, anything, that doesn't make the person a criminal. People, once the news has come that he is being accused, a case has been filed, people start forming an image of him as a criminal. That is wrong.
I think the nuances are extremely important here.
Exactly. So as a part of the judiciary, once a case is filed, you are not sent to jail. You are not arrested for 7 years. There are trials, there are evidences to be proved. So even if someone wants to misuse the law, they cannot misuse the law. The law doesn't provide, law or the judicial system is not so weak that today someone comes and tells me that I'm being arrested for something. The law believes that person and sends me to jail. No. It's the social media and the society which are making quick decisions who have not even studied 1 semester of law.
True. I think it's a misconception that as society we all have.
Exactly. So very important to know that accused is not a criminal. You can be an accused any day, any minute. So be very careful while making decisions or judging people.
And awareness is still, there's a lot of gap in awareness, right? What is that one legal right women should absolutely know?
Okay, can I tell 3?
Yeah, sure, please.
So when someone talks about the topic of women rights, the things that come in mind are maintenance, reservation. But these are very important laws every woman should know. But there are other basic laws which one must know and must follow. First one is right to education, right to practice your profession, and right to choose the person you marry. These 3, if you know and if you're aware of it, you're sorted. You can study how much ever you want. That's your right. And you can work irrespective of whatever societal complications or restrictions you have. The Constitution of India gives you the right to work, earn for yourself, and even marry the person. If you have good education, good job, and a good partner, I think 75% of your life problems are sorted.
I think it's very basic and still a lot of people miss out on that.
Exactly.
So emotional decisions often escalate situations, right? What is that one mistake people commonly make during legal conflicts in a relationship?
As I said earlier, especially in matrimonial disputes, people come into a decision in a very haste manner. When in the heat of the moment, when some fight is going on, you cannot take a decision. Any decision for that matter, not only of divorce, in general also everybody advises us to take decisions in a sane mind when we are calm. So it's very important that before making any such step, we stay calm and think of any probable solutions. Or do we really need a divorce? Are we really doing the right step? And one more thing, once you have taken the step, are we strong enough to go through the entire process? It's very important. It's also important to know that society, law will be with you irrespective of some initial difficulties. Things are going to work out. If you are right things are going to happen.
I think that's where awareness gets its power.
Exactly. And people also, I think, they are more into reels of some animated things which are actually for entertainment. But people should also be aware of what is happening. Only lawyers are not supposed to know the law. Lawyers are supposed to interpret the laws and present it in the court. But just because you're not an advocate doesn't mean that you should not know laws. You should know laws.
I think the right awareness is what is missing due to a lot of social media impact these days.
Very true.
So families today, they function very differently. Have you seen a shift in the nature of family disputes compared to earlier generations?
Yes, very different. Now families are coming together and growing. The elders are understanding that disagreement is not disrespect. So you can sit and clarify and sort out differences between you. And the thing is, moving out or staying separately doesn't mean breaking of the family. Asking for your share in the property doesn't mean that you're alienating your parents.
I think both the parties should understand and respect their boundaries.
Yes, even now parents are very accommodative, and children also know the art of communicating. It's not just, okay, I'm walking away from the house. No, come, let's sit, let's sort out. And talking as an advocate, the laws have evolved beautifully. Now it's just not a partition is not granted like this. A months of mediation happen where two families sit together, experienced people who have dealt with family matters, not as an advocate or a judge, as a well-wisher, sit with them, ask them to sort out the issues, what is going wrong. So most of the cases are solved in mediation. So I think even judiciary has helped a lot in strengthening the family bonds, apart from the changing societal norms and communication between people.
Now, if you see, social media is a major part of relationships. Do you think digital exposure is affecting relationships and causing more legal conflicts?
A lot. In India especially, people do not know to take entertainment as entertainment. They get easily influenced by a 30-second reel where a husband has got a huge bouquet of flowers surprising his wife to a foreign vacation. But we have absolutely no idea what goes behind the camera. Logically, you cannot surprise a foreign vacation. You would have told them, no, how will she pack all those things?
There are many layers to one video out there, and they don't understand that.
And a man giving a huge bouquet of flowers is not a standard of good husband. Not every man or not every woman would be comfortable doing things in camera. Everyone have a different way of expressing love. So setting standards of love from social media is foolishness. Is utter foolishness, because we never know, and we have seen so many couples who have been very romantic on screen are ended in divorces.
True. End of the day, it just looks like it's an act put out
exactly.
there.
Of course, women like to feel loved. We want all those romantic gestures. No doubt, it's right. But making that the only standard or a non-negotiable and ending marriages because the partner is not adhering to the standards of social media is foolishness, and that's it. It's foolishness. Absolute rubbish.
So emotions and legal thinking often have a lot of clashes. How do you help clients separate their emotion from logic in difficult situations? Because you might be a good advisor and an advocate at the same time.
Exactly. When a client comes with us, especially with family matters, divorce matters, custody matters, we first try to make them feel very comfortable. The person who is talking, the client should feel that he's talking to a well-wisher. And when you start, it's in general also, when you start telling your problems to others, solutions will naturally come to you. People don't need to give solutions. So once they've told me the story, I'll tell them what all legal solutions you have and what are all the consequences emotionally also you might face. So it's up to them whether they're ready to take the logical way or they want to stay in the emotional way, because I cannot force someone to take which course they want to do.
Correct.
But of course, I'll tell them the practicality. I'll of course tell them think about yourself rather than what the society is going to think, rather than how your future might be once you're ending a relationship. Because public memory is very, very small. Some divorce happened 2 days ago, 1 week it will be trending and next week some other trend will come. So think only for yourself, practically, with emotions.
That's a great advice every person needs to hear at that situation, because they will be really vulnerable and they'll be really down, and someone in your place telling that to them is very important.
And there's a lot of pressure on us also, because when someone is vulnerable, they easily get influenced.
Correct.
So what I am telling to them, what I am telling to a vulnerable person is very important. It casts a huge responsibility on me. I cannot randomly give advice.
And it impacts the rest of their life.
Exactly. For me, it's just a case. For them, it's their life.
True.
So I have to be very well educated, or if I am not finding any solution at that time, I have to tell them, I'll get back to you. Maybe I'll consult my seniors, my colleagues, and what advice I have to give them. Just because to prove that I am an efficient advocate, I cannot give any random advice to them.
True.
Or maybe if my argument becomes a landmark judgment, I cannot lead them to a wrong path also. My intention should be to provide justice to the client, which in turn will provide justice to my career also.
I think you're becoming a great advocate. For young women today navigating into modern relationship, what advice would you give them to protect themselves legally and emotionally?
Be aware, be educated. Your education is not your marks. You should know way more than your textbooks. And women should remember, especially now, we modern women, we have to remember that lot of women in the past have struggled so that we are getting these privileges. And we cannot disrespect their struggle. And being modern doesn't mean it's not restricted to your clothes and you're going out. It's way more deep rooted, because still I see educated women, they have a very modern lifestyle. They all this my body, my choice, very good, well good, but still they want a man of the same age earning 3 times of them as a husband. That doesn't make you an independent woman.
True.
That's an insult to people who have struggled to get you the right to work. It's an insult to all those women who have been stuck in the 4 corners of their house and still made way for their education.
I think it's few people who misuse and try to get that comfort.
Exactly. Freedom of going out doesn't mean you're stuck in partying all night. Freedom of wearing clothes doesn't mean that you defy all the other social things, and just feminism is not just restricted to your clothes. It's how independent you are becoming, how you are contributing to the society, how you are treating yourself equal to a man.
I think that's extremely important in today's world to understand.
Exactly.
So there's also fear around legal processes in general, right? What is that one misconception that people have about going to court or taking a legal action?
One misconception is that going to courts is a black mark in your life. People, in Kannada there's a proverb which says that court metlu matra hatbardu. You should never go to court or step in the court. That's wrong. Courts are there to provide solutions, to solve your problems. And once you come to court, you will understand that people are suffering more than you. You are not the only victim in the society. You'll also meet a lot of people, learn a lot of things, and every day the hope of getting justice increases. And I'm not denying the fact that there are huge delays in getting justice, but that should not stop you from seeking justice.
I also think they hesitate because of the fear of the consequences.
Exactly, and their fear is very much justified. I do not tell that you have to come very confidently and today you're going to get the order. No, some orders may not be in favor of you. You'll have to go to appeal, maybe to the High Court or to the Supreme Court. But that shouldn't stop you from fighting for your justice.
Very true. So beyond laws, there's a lot of emotional impact. How do legal battles affect individuals emotionally, and especially women?
It plays a huge impact on the mental health, both positive and negative, I would say. As a woman, when you step in the court, you step, of course, with a lot of fear and also a slight hope that you might get justice. But because of the delays or maybe some accusations from the opposite party may lower you down, may put you into a very low point in your life, and you may not be able to function in a normal way because it affects everything. Every week you have to go to court, maybe you will not be able to focus on a job, your family properly. So it does play. It's also very important for the family and friends or whoever is going through this legal process to be with them, and also their advocates to assure them that things are going to go well, keep updating them of what is going on. Many advocates do not inform the clients of what actually is happening.
And I think that is something not many people talk enough about.
Exactly. You should tell, as an advocate, you should tell your client, look, this has happened, the next date is this, don't worry, things are going to go well. And if not this, there are other methods of where you can settle things, where you can approach the court for conciliation, mediation. There are processes. The only thing is people need good guides. And for a woman, there are n number of female advocates. You step into the city civil court, you will see women. In the high court, you see women, both in the client place, in the advocate place, as well as in the judge place. So it's not a very unsafe place, I would say, for a woman. And law treats women specially. We have to accept, we have to understand that women are given special treatment. So there's nothing to fear for a woman, I think, to come and fight their case for justice.
So just to, to go to a cool part,
Yeah.
let's just settle. I think it was a very heated conversation. So hosting weddings is about creating experiences for the couple, right?
Correct.
How did your journey as a wedding MC begin?
I love weddings. Every time I have planned my marriage also beautifully. It's not now, it's from childhood. So it's like, for me, weddings is all about fun.
I think it's like a fairy tale, right?
Yes.
Every single.
So I know how I want to feel in my wedding. So I make sure that whoever wedding I am hosting, they feel the same. So that basic idea too I'll have before hosting. Then of course you can read the room. You'll have a lot of meetings before hosting with the couple, with their parents. You will get to know their needs or which all events has to be hosted. It's a planned procedure. So beautiful. And this journey started very accidentally. One of my mutual friends, to them, they were just like, "Hey, I was to do open mics. I still do open mics." They saw my Instagram page and were like, "Can you host the wedding?" I was like, I was very skeptical. I told them I have never had the experience. And the girl's father told me that I have trust in you, you can do it. That meant a lot for me and also put a lot of pressure on me, because someone trusting a stranger for a daughter's wedding is something huge.
And it's a lifetime experience for them.
Yes, for me too. Maybe I'll get 2 or 3 more weddings. I can improve myself. But for that couple, it's their wedding. It's the most special day in their life. So, and luckily, I have a very good family and amazing friend circle. They all helped me. They all came to the venue also to help me with it. It was a super hit, and from there, there's no looking back.
Every audience are different, right? How do you connect with people instantly?
One of my privileges is that I have been brought up in a joint family, where there are a lot of people, lot of ideas, lot of different age groups. So, adaptability is something not new or not difficult to me. I can cater the needs of the audience of any age group, any mindset. And I am not someone who is once written cannot be erased. I can change. If you have any last minute changes, I will adapt to it. So I think that's a strength for me.
Live events come with a lot of unpredictability, right?
Yes.
Is there any moment that you will never forget?
It obviously it has to be my first wedding experience only as an MC. I had planned some 3 to 4 games, and the Sangeet they had planned, the groom side, the bride side, they had planned. And after all my games, suddenly one of the relatives comes and tells that the music system is not working. We need 10 more minutes. Do something as a filler. What do? I am blank. I haven't planned any game. It was my first time. I couldn't think anything also. I was like, okay, Pooja, you have to do. You have to do something. Then I wrote my own poetry in 2 minutes. I started performing it. And while performing the poetry, I could think of some games, and I did all those filler things. The audience never got to know, luckily, but I knew how much emotionally I was struggling, and the anxiety level I had at that
That's
time.
a lot to take for you, but people would have enjoyed. I know
Exactly.
how you're a great poet. So writing is something very deeply personal, right? When did your writing become serious?
I used to write from my childhood, but it became serious during my early teens when I felt some void in my life. I think everyone who have faced that adolescent age, they would have felt that dealing with emotions, they're not able to connect properly with their family, friends, everything. I was dealing with a lot of things, but I didn't know whom to communicate with. So my paper and pen became my best friends. Very patiently, they listened to whatever I was writing without any judgment. Now, luckily, the void has been filled. I have amazing friends, great social circles, but the love for writing continues.
I think it's an interesting way any adolescent can get
Yes.
into writing, and I think everyone has that phase in life. I think it's a great way to take that. Your book Rainbow reflects a lot of expression. What inspired you to write the book?
One of a post in Facebook I saw was about Bookleaf Publications. They give us this 21-day poem challenge. You write poems, we'll publish it. I was like, let me take it up. And 21 poems I wrote over a span of 1 month, I think. And I had written some 11 or 12. Then the time was decreasing, I started writing in trains, in travel, and all, because I had to complete it. Then when the book released, I was like, okay, it's just a book. What the response I received from my friends and relatives, of course, it has not gone to a great public outreach, I would agree, but it boosted my confidence into 10 times. Because once you're in the public, once you put your art in the public and people have liked it, there's no going back. It's like a huge step for me into coming into public platform. Then I made my Insta profile public. Then I started performing. So it was the book was a stepping stone.
So that's very beautiful. Your social media reflects a lot of love for Kannada that you have. How has Kannada as a language shaped you as a person today?
Kannada is love. Kannada is my first love. I would like to tell a poem written by J.P. Rajaratnam. It says that Narka Kilsi, Nalge Silsi, Bai Holda Kudrune, Mugnal Kannad Padvartini, Nanman Sani Kane. It means that you take me to hell. Then you cut my nose, stitch my tongue. You cut my tongue and stitch my mouth also. But still from my nose, I'll be speaking Kannada. That's the love. Nothing can stop me from speaking or loving my language. Kannada is, it's very emotional to me. I think in Kannada. So I relate a lot. I read a lot of Kannada literature. My grandmother reads, my Dodappa reads. So when I got that interest of reading a lot of novels, especially of S.L. Bhairappa, I love that language, and I think I can express myself best in that language.
I think it's very emotional for you, right? And it influences Pooja as a person, and it gives you an identity.
Kannada is inseparable from me, and my mother tongue is also not Kannada actually. It's Tamil. My dad speaks Kannada, so it's very huge moment for me that not being my mother tongue also, I'm more fluent in Kannada than actually so many Kannada speaking people.
I can absolutely relate.
So yeah,
I can absolutely relate.
It's a flex for me.
I can absolutely relate, because even my mother tongue is not Tamil, but I love Tamil.
Yes.
My mother tongue is Telugu, but people think I am ignoring or something, but no, it's just a love.
Exactly.
You cannot define it.
Born and brought up in Bangalore and seeing Kannada movies, Kannada literature.
I think it's a culture that has influenced you and you've fallen in love with it.
Exactly. I'm speaking Kannada. If I'm speaking Kannada fluently, that means I'm doing something very interesting. I love Kannada.
In a world that's becoming more global, how important it is for you to hold on to your Kannada roots?
It's very important, and more than important, it's very difficult also. Where in my workplace or wherever you go, especially in Bangalore, the entire crowd is not Kannada speaking. You will have to speak in English, sometimes Hindi also. And it becomes very difficult for me to see. I want to spread Kannada. That's my aim. I want to spread the love, the beauty of Kannada literature to the world. It is becoming difficult, but still I believe that when people know that what Kannada is, they'll also start falling in love. Do not force people to learn Kannada, make them fall in love in Kannada. They'll naturally follow it. So that is my motto, how I want to spread my love for language. Maybe I speak in their language a little bit, adding my language words so that even they'll understand. That's how people learn languages.
That's a very positive way of teaching people around you. So performing your own poems is very powerful. What do you feel when you perform your own poetry?
Satisfied. I feel very satisfied. I don't know. When I'm on the stage, you give me a mic in hand, I do not care about the world. I'm the happiest version there, and I'm the best version of myself. I've been in love with stage and mic throughout. So it's very satisfying, and seeing the audience reactions also boosts my confidence. They're very happy. And seeing people also performing because they saw my performance last week, that gives great happiness, because after all, my aim is promote Kannada literature. Either by me or a group of people. Anything works.
Even as audience, I have to say, I don't understand Kannada, like the Kannada that you speak. I can understand and manage to speak normal Kannada outside what we. But every time I see a reel, it's so beautiful. I just want to scroll through even if I don't understand
I
certain
can feel
things.
a glow in my eyes when I'm telling Kannada poetry. I can feel that. So it's
There's an energy when you speak, when you are in front of a mic. I just want to scroll through it even if I don't understand certain things. It gives a lot of positive energy, and I can see that love for Kannada that you have in your eyes. They are just brightened up.
very true. I think anything you do from your whole heart will be a good impact. Simple. Put your dedication, consistency, or your belief in that, and God will take care of the rest.
See, stories shape people. Do you think storytelling can change lives?
Definitely. You know, when I'm talking to you, I'm telling about some incidents in the past because I'm telling it as a story. Every one of us tells stories to each other. You know, when we meet a friend, you know what happened yesterday? That's a story.
True.
So stories are an inseparable part of an individual's life. The only thing why some people perform on stage is that maybe of their better vocabulary or their better stage presence. Apart from that, everyone is a storyteller. Everyone has a story to tell, either made up or real. We have stories to tell, and that's story is a actual version of tea, what we tell.
Yes.
Every tea is a story.
Everyone loves tea, I guess. Now, moving on to your Carnatic journey. Carnatic music requires a lot of discipline. How has it shaped you as a person?
Carnatic music has made me a very, very disciplined person, due to which I'm able to do so many things. If I did not have a disciplined lifestyle, I couldn't have done even one of the things which I'm doing right now. You know, when you're practicing music or when you're into Carnatic music, if you're singing, there's a certain position to sit and sing. I cannot randomly stand or sit on a sofa or keep my legs crossed and sing. There's a position, discipline again. And the room has to be clean. I cannot sing in a dirty room, so I clean the room. And it requires a lot of discipline where my hairs are tied and have a proper attire for it. And it is not something which can be learnt in a click. It requires years of hard work. So if I want to learn a Gite or a Varna, I cannot learn in a minute. I have to put days of efforts. So and my love for Carnatic music made me do all those things. There was a time in school where I took things for very granted. And slowly I could feel like music was distancing itself from me. I could not sing the way I used to sing or I wanted to sing. Then I brought back my disciplined lifestyle. The music also came back to me. So it's like music is something which you need to protect. It is a particular environment. If that environment you are not providing to music, it will go away from you. Simple.
It's a great way to learn discipline. And do you mind singing a small piece for us?
Sure. Any song in mind, like you.
I don't have anything, with whatever you're comfortable.
It's one of my favorite Kannada Bhavagite. It's written by Kuempu. ಮುಚ್ಚು ಮರೆಯಿಲ್ಲದೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಮುಂದೆಲ್ಲವನು ಬಿಚ್ಚಿಡುವೆವೋ ಗುರುವೇ ಅಂತರಾತ್ಮ ಪಾಪವಿದೆ ಪುಣ್ಯವಿದೆ ನರಕವಿದೆ ನಾಕವಿದೆ ಪಾಪವಿದೆ ಪುಣ್ಯವಿದೆ ನರಕವಿದೆ ನಾಕವಿದೆ ಸ್ವೀಕರಿಸುವೋ ಗುರುವೇ ಅಂತರಾತ್ಮ ಮುಚ್ಚುಮರೆಯಿಲ್ಲದೆ.
So beautiful. So nice. Amazing. I didn't know this side of you at all. I've not seen on social media also much. So moving on to the next question. Teaching impacts generations. What does being an educator mean to you?
Teaching is in my blood. My grandfather was a physics professor.
Wow.
Both my parents are mathematics professors. My Dodamma is a computer science professor. So teaching is actually in my blood. I didn't have to put much efforts to become a teacher. I love teaching. Teaching has been my childhood ambition. When people used to tell astronaut and all, I was like, teacher. I want to become a teacher, irrespective of the subject. Of course, with life, I chose law, and now I'm practicing. Professionally, I'm an advocate, but I haven't left teaching. There's a wonderful platform called as Teachers by Choice, where people from different fields, they necessarily need not be B.Ed graduates. There are students, there are working professionals who are deeply passionate about teaching, where they take classes for school, college, engineering students. I'm very lucky and privileged to be a part of that. Teaching is continuous learning for me. If you ask me what is teaching, I tell continuous learning. And no 2 hours are the same for a teacher.
I think it's learning both the ways. Children also teach us a lot of things.
Exactly.
And when we teach them and deliver them knowledge, that gives utmost happiness.
Yes. And focusing on teaching, I would tell that teaching is not a profession, it's a service. So I would advise anyone not to become a teacher because you did not get to do what you wanted to become. Please become a teacher only if you really want to become a teacher, because you can impact a class, you can impact a lot of lives. Bad teaching can cause trauma, especially in schools. School students, you can see people who have had bad teachers. They have had lifelong trauma because of that. So you just do not teach physics, chemistry, maths. You teach them life.
True.
Your class should not be restricted.
They look up to you as...
Exactly. Your class cannot be restricted to textbooks. That even ChatGPT and Gemini are going to do now. Put a screenshot of your textbook and ask it to put it in simpler words, it will do. So what you have to do, you have to emotionally connect them, emotionally connect with them and build them as a very good citizens of the country. So teaching is a huge, huge responsibility, and do not take it up if you're not service minded or if you're doing only it for money or some job namesake. So
I think that's a very powerful role. So women today are navigating to multiple identities. Do you think women are expressing themselves more freely today?
Definitely yes, including me. So yeah, women were given a certain job role. They were assigned certain things that only they're restricted to such thing. It was believed that they were only capable of so much. But thanks to our ancestors or the previous generation women who worked really hard in breaking those cycles, and now we are in a privileged position. I know there are a lot of struggles yet to be achieved, but better than the history. So people are now becoming more vocal about what they want, be it their choice of food, choice of dresses, professions, choice of sexuality, anything. They're talking it out without any stigma, and main reason why they're able to talk it out, because even society is evolving.
Correct.
And it's not only women who have struggled. There are a lot of men, beautiful men, who have worked towards the empowerment of women. Only women cannot change the world, nor man can change the world. It requires a combination of good women and good men to change the world. So it's happening.
I think the change from both the sides is what brings balance to the society.
Exactly.
And how we have been empowered today. So society often creates a lot of expectations. Have you ever felt the need to fit into a box?
Of course, I think every man or every woman would have faced certain restrictions or would have been placed in a box, and the box necessarily need not be the same for everyone. In certain ways, I'm very privileged and lucky that I need not face some restrictions which still a lot of women are facing. For example, maybe choosing my profession, stepping out and doing things like this, which there are a lot of talented people other than me, but they're not able to do because of so many restrictions they have. In that way, I'm privileged. Such said, it has not been a cakewalk too. I did have my own set of struggles and still struggling. Maybe to convince a lot of people in my circle also that I'm able to achieve it. More than people, it's about convincing myself that I can do better than that. The box, I think, which I have to step out is a box I have put for myself.
Very true. You need to break your own walls.
So the inferiority complex, maybe. As I said, my early teens were not so easy. So the thing of inferiority complex, that I'm not good enough, it's rooted inside me. So every day I have to convince myself that no, you're better. You're not what people had told you earlier. You define what you are. So that's the box I have to come out.
Confidence looks different for everyone, right? What does confidence mean to you?
For me, confidence is self-love. if I'm wearing some particular attire and everyone around me are telling me you look beautiful, but I'm not satisfied, I'm not happy, I'm not confident. It's that inner feeling which says that you're good to go. That self-love is confidence for me. And confidence does come from a lot of hard work. When I'm confident on stage, if I have practiced for 1 week, if I have done a lot of homework, that time confidence comes, and that time I start loving myself. I do not like myself doing below average performances. I have high expectations, I have high standards of myself, so it's difficult to meet. But yeah, self-love gives me confidence.
I think that's a very important perspective, because people just go around telling self-love, but you should do the work behind to have.
Exactly. You cannot tell that for example, you're attending a function. You cannot come without combing your hair, wearing inappropriate dress, and I love myself. No, that is not self-love.
True.
You have to for you to love yourself, you have to work hard.
Correct.
So
you have to put yourself out there the best version you can. So let's end this on a very lighter note. So we have a this or that closing session. So courtrooms or stage?
Stage.
Logic or emotion?
Emotions.
Writing or speaking?
Oh, speaking what I write.
Poetry or music?
Music.
Planned or spontaneous?
Planned.
Do you like tradition or modern?
Oh, a mix of both, I would say.
Okay. Do you prefer stability or passion?
Passion.
Okay. Do you stand for silence or expression?
Expression.
That was so quick. Thank you so much, Pooja. It was an amazing episode. I think a lot of learnings that we have to take and a lot of awareness in the right path. Thank you so much for being with us today. And it was a mind-blowing experience for me, I would say.
Thank you.
You said point to point, very logical with the balance of emotion. It was great having you on our episode.
Yeah, good answers come with good questions. So your questions were very well framed. So even I had to think what all I'm going to answer for that. So amazing work, Harini. I hope you get more better achievers than me on your show, and the show grows and grows.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Wish you the same. Thanks
you.
a lot.
This was Vision-Naari. If this conversation made you think, reflect, or see things differently, don't forget to share it with someone who needs it. Because every woman has a vision, and every vision deserves a voice. See you in the next one.